but to the leadership that controlled the system. Bashar al-Assad remained president throughout most of the conflict. He insisted that his government was fighting terrorism and armed groups attempting to destroy Syria. But his opponents and numerous international investigators accused his government of committing grave crimes against civilians. For more than a decade, the war continued. Then in late 2024, the balance of power suddenly collapsed. Rebel forces advanced rapidly toward Damascus. The government that had survived years of war began to fall apart, and Bashar al-Assad disappeared from Syria. He fled to Russia. The Assad family's decades-long rule had come to an end. But the story was not over. For the victims and families who had spent years demanding accountability, one question remained. Would Bashar al-Assad ever face justice? Nearly 2 years after his government fell, the answer came from a courtroom in Damascus. On August 11, 2026, a Syrian court sentenced Bashar al-Assad to death in absentia. The verdict marked the first major conviction against Assad or members of his inner circle since the fall of his regime. But because Assad remains outside Syria, the sentence is, for now, largely symbolic. The man who once ruled Syria is still beyond the reach of the court. And that leaves a much bigger question. What exactly happened during Assad's years in power that led to this historic verdict? To understand why the court sentenced him to death, we have to go back to the very beginning of the Syrian uprising and to the events in Daraa that set the entire country on a path toward war. This is where the story truly begins. Part 2. The protests that changed Syria. Subscribe to MovieMatz for the next chapter.